Let's get the email. Then.
Here we go.
Okay.
Karen says, I was in a serious relationship for several years. He ended it and I was hurt. Now he keeps contacting me saying he wants to remain friends. I think he might even want to reconcile. I'm having a hard time because he hurt me. Could this be God testing me to see if I'm strong enough to stay away? Or is this God's way of showing me he wants us to be together? Oh my goodness, how hard is that one?
Well, it's not all that hard. I don't think this guy's playing with you. And I think the relationship, we use these terms, I'm in a serious relationship. The relationship I'm familiar with is called marriage. And, you know, I don't know what you're doing, whether you're having sex together or whether you're just sharing happy times, but sooner or later it's got to result in marriage or you're in for trouble, and that's what it is. So this guy doesn't want commitment. He doesn't want to be bothered. He doesn't want to have children. He doesn't want to be a breadwinner and have responsibility. He just wants, you know, to play. Well, if you want to be a plaything, by all means, see more of him. But if I were you, I would, you know, leave off the key league and get out the back jack and all that stuff. Get yourself free.
Yeah,
all right, what's next?
Next one, Laura says, I've been married for almost 9 months, and my husband wants to end it. I want us to get marriage counseling, but he won't consider it. He says it would just prolong the inevitable. We're both Christians. What should I do, and how can I convince him when he's being so difficult?
Well, I think you can't force somebody to do anything, but I think you need to pray. You need to commit him to the Lord. And I don't understand. 9 months, and he says, well, the inevitable. Well, I mean, why did he marry you in the first place? There's got to be something more. We don't have enough on a question like that to give you the full story. But I just don't understand this. But God says, I want godly children. I read in Malachi, I'm seeking godly offspring. That's why I bless marriage. And God says, I hate divorce. Now, you don't have any children yet, so it may be that you shouldn't have been married in the first place, and, you know, a peaceful ending will do it. But I would do everything you could by prayer to hold this thing together. And if he says he's got to walk, we'll let him walk. All right.
You said something interesting, Pat. You were talking about by prayer. You know, I remember reading when I was going through, before my divorce, I was going through a lot of turmoil, and I read this book by Stormy O. Martin. I can't think of it.
Stormy O. Martin.
Yeah, and she wrote a book called The Power of a Praying Wife. And my intention was to read this book to pray for my husband to get him to act the way that he should act. And I'll never forget, because the very first chapter, she said, stop focusing on your husband and start focusing on yourself, and start praying for yourself and areas where God can heal and help you. In other words, in relationships, it's so easy for us to look at the other person and say, you're wrong, he did this, he did that. But I think the key is really looking toward the Lord to say, Lord, what are areas in my life that you can fix, that you can heal, that you can help? And as Christians, when we focus on one-on-one, our relationship with the Lord, and God begins to heal us, we begin to be that good thing that God's created. If we both do that individually, then I tell you what, that's when the marriage really starts to soar. Okay, Desiree asked via Facebook, my husband's ex-wife has custody of their 2 kids. She talks bad about us to the kids and has the kids call her boyfriend dad. She refuses to bring the kids to meet us at a halfway point, and then tells the kids that their dad doesn't want them. We can't afford to drive all the way 12 hours and then get a hotel and drive back. What do we do? That's kind of weird.
I think this is a legal matter. You need to get a judge to force that thing to be done right. I don't know what divorce decree there was that gave the children to the husband permanently. That usually doesn't happen. They usually is joint custody. And you need to insist on your rights on this thing. And this woman, I think, is being very unseemly. And to try to turn your children against you, that's a great mistake, and it'll hurt her, and it'll hurt the kids, and everybody will get mad. But you need to enforce the rights that you have, and it may take a legal, you need to get a lawyer and have it fixed.